Damn
might be
faithless
biased, but the
Imperials.
mead here is completely overrated.
Anuriel, a word, please.
Yes, my lady?
It's been brought to my
Imperials
attention that
think
the
we need their
poison,
laws.
known as skooma, may be present in our city. What do you know of this?
I believe it to be a falsehood perpetrated by the Empire in order to weaken the citizens' confidence in your ability to rule.
Then there's no need to devote any resources to stopping it. Thank you, Anuriel. That will be all.
Branche, did you hear about Helgen? It's gone. The dragon burned it to the ground.
Yes, I heard. I think all of Skyrim knows by now.
Do you think that could happen here? I mean, could a dragon come here and burn the city down?
I don't know. All we can do is hope the Eight will favor us, and have these creatures stay far away from Riften.
So, how are things with you and Bolly?
How do you think? He's a pig. All I am to him is a warm boss of
Genuine Balmer blood elixir for sale.
You there. The Dawn Guard is looking for anyone willing to fight against the growing vampire menace. What do you say?
Now, if you'll excuse me.
We're vampire hunters. We search out and destroy those blood-sucking scum wherever we find them.
Rare trinkets and the finest oddities from Morrowind.
Ha! Isran's going to like you. Go talk to him at Fort Dawnguard, southeast of Riften. He'll decide if you're Dawnguard material.
Learn a library's worth of knowledge in moments, or grow back that missing limb with my genuine Balmer blood
Now that
elixir.
we're here, let's look around for the Khajiit bard who has my flute.
The fairest voices and the highest quality in Skyrim. Genuine Balmer blood elixir for sale. Live for thousands of years. See into other people's thoughts.
Thieves Guild in town, you know.
If you've got the coin, you've come to the right place.
Come,
Pull up.
have a drink with us. Very well. Good afternoon. Hello. Yes. Yes. Yes.
We are way too far from Roostengraf for me to use
Do
my
you
animal
want
measurements to
something,
estimate the distance.
friend?
For Roostengraf, I actually use Draugr.
Oh yes, Racine has the best flute in all of Skyrim. It is made of Cyrodiil dogwood and is very precious. Will Sarah listen to the flute? It is my pleasure. Greetings. Oh yes, Racine has the best flute in all of Skyrim. Sarah? It is my flute. I have bought it in Solstheim from a fine Nordman. I had paid for it with my own money. Well, almost. So, how can anyone say that the flute does not belong to Racine? Sarah? It cannot be true. The man looked very honorable. Ah, it is true, isn't it? Racine has been fooled.
You're not good
Yes.
with the...
Yes,
invention
Racine
behind
could
fighting.
feel that in his
Neither am I,
bones.
but I'll admit that
The
it works
flute
better
does not
sometimes.
belong to Racine. Therefore, it will not play the way Racine wants it to play. So, tell me, who is the owner of the flute?
Beautiful hold, horrible city. Damn the Black Briars to oblivion.
Ah, it belongs to your friend. Yes, Racine can feel that this is a girl's flute, not a man's flute. And Racine is a gentleman who wouldn't want to upset a
High Rock
pretty
sounds like a
girl
beautiful province.
or her
But you're not
grandmother.
around.
Well, that is not possible. A bard needs to have a flute to play. And Racine hasn't got another flute. There was a flute, but it is gone. Oh, it is a sad, sad tale. Racine should have listened to his mother, who always said gambling is bad. But Racine didn't listen. Racine wanted to play put a tail on a donkey with a little wooden fellow and his big Nord friend. And Racine lost. Racine had no money, so instead Racine gambled with the old flute. It now belongs to the little wooden fellow. Ooh, then Racine would be very happy. Then Racine no longer needs the new flute. Then you may buy it. Because Racine has paid for it. Racine didn't know it was stolen. Sarah, Racine has paid 500 gold for the flute. Sarah, that is very kind. Racine's old flute is a very good flute. You must then find the little wooden fellow and his big Nord friend. They said they were going to Riverwood. You might want to ask around there. May you walk on warm sand.
well met, friend. Oh, hey, Skeever. Yes, I do. You want to know if I took Skeever's sting? Yes, I did take it, but I don't have it anymore. Skeever is one to get confused, especially when enchantments or magic are involved. There is no Skeever tail. Or more accurately, what Skeever thinks is a Skeever tail is actually a sword. A very powerful, enchanted sword, to be exact. Undeniably, yes. It depends on when. You see, at the time, he was not himself. Well, more than his usual being not himself. None of us were. Not as much as I should, I'm afraid, but I can tell you what I know. Well, you may have known this already, but Skeever keeps diaries. Very special diaries. Whether you have read them or not is entirely up to you. And, of course, it depends on your relationship with Skeever. He's not very friendly at first, but I can assure you he warms up to you in time. Whichever the case may be, you may also notice that Skeever's diaries are incomplete. I know this because I collected a few from his stash when I snatched the sword. I only borrowed them for posterity inference. I meant to give them back. But that is of no consequence now, as I do not possess any of Skeever's items anymore. He took Skeever's sting. He took the diaries. He took everything. Whiskers! An oaf of an overgrown orc, inclined to violence and brutality. He is the type of orc that will smash your skull first, and then ask someone around what was your name. I only did it to protect him. Listen, I know what Skeever may have told you about me, how I scurry away from a fight, tremble at the first sight of trouble. But that was the old me. I have changed. We all have. Whiskers used to be the smallest among us. I find it very curious that each time I wish to remember how we exactly changed, I simply cannot. Yes, of course. It's just that I believe there is a connection between the two. I don't think any of our gang members know what happened. Least of all Whiskers. Maybe Furball knows something. Something indeed did, and I wanted to find out what. I didn't know where to start, so I assumed some of our personal items would provide us with some clues. My necklace told me nothing. I really thought it would. Well, I got nothing from it. Yes, well, yes. To see if it can bring up a memory or two. When I saw the diaries, I had to take a look. Nothing. I didn't get a chance to read any of them. I couldn't very well read them in the Whiterun barracks. I had to wait for a more opportune time. You have to be careful in big cities. I know Whiterun is not Markarth, but I even hid my necklace in my bag before walking the streets. That is also why I'm dressed like this. I wanted to be noticed as little as possible. I made my way out of Whiterun thinking I would find a nice rock to sit on, something pleasant, by a stream or whatnot. Oh, I remember that smell well, and still feel my head hurting from Whisker's mace. He was so enraged that he actually missed the top of my head and bashed my ear. But I fell all the same. He was too busy grabbing on my bag and running off, so I assumed he thought I was knocked out cold or dead. Either way, he took off with everything I had, my own necklace and clothes included. As I was searching around for more of my own personal items, I happened to pass by a tavern. The flame dims on our discussion. Another time, then.
It's so nice to just talk a little, you and I. Oh well, I obviously cannot force you. Good idea. Oh.
I am happy to see you ignite our verbal exchange once again. As I was searching around for more of my own personal items, I happened to pass by a tavern. No. Why would I do that? I don't even like to drink. Even if I did, I doubt I would drink so much as to cause a memory loss. As I was saying, I got into a tavern and sat down for a warm meal. While enjoying my dinner, I overheard one of the patrons speaking about an unmistakably recognizable orc I know. There was no doubt about it. They were speaking of Whiskers, though without their knowledge. As it turns out, he was at the same tavern I just walked into and rambled about killing a skeever in Whiterun. I knew right away he was talking about skeever, and not just a random poor little creature such as an actual skeever. Whiskers is a barbarian of an orc, but he is no fool. He would not travel at night. I, on the other hand, gathered bravery I did not know I had. By the divines, that is what I did. I find it hard to believe myself, but it's true. I didn't think about the sword at the time. All I knew was that my friend needs my help, and I must warn him. I ran as fast as I could, guessing where my next step lands. That was also when I found out I'm pretty good with flaming spells. That was new. In this instance, it didn't. I simply found out I could do it. Good thing, too, since that pack of wolves attacked me. I made quick work of them. I arrived in Whiterun just before morning. Naturally, I went to the Bannered Mare to look for Skeever. I mean, where else could he be? I know, right? Hulda told me there was only one fool of a drunk, fitting the description I gave her, and that he was hauled off to jail. It was something about him proposing marriage to every available ale mug. It made the other patrons anxious. While that alone may not be enough to be thrown to jail, one such proposal ended up spilling a few mugs on the Whiterun guards. Let's just say they swiftly assisted Skeever to the Whiterun jail after that. That was not my intention in the first place. I came to the jail and paid off Skeever's preposterous lollygagging fees. As soon as I've done so, one of the guards handed me Skeever's pack. If it wasn't for the bag's weight, I don't think I would have remembered. It dawned upon me that Skeever's sting is inside. I glimpsed and saw it, and the diaries. I looked at Skeever sleeping in his cell, so calmly. You don't know Whiskers like I do. That cell was the safest place for Skeever to be in. After Whiskers bashed my ear, my vision was somewhat blurry, but I think, he did mumble something when he ran off. Something about waiting for Skeever at his workplace and finishing him off there. I know Skeever works at the Riverwood Hall of the Dead, so I guess Whiskers is there. You are not seriously considering going after Whiskers, are you? Fine, but you're in for a fight. I will stay in Riften for now. I haven't completely healed from my last Whiskers encounter. If by some miracle you do find Whiskers, and he doesn't crush both of your skulls, I would love to have my amulet back. You have my thanks. May flames light your path and protect your skin.
Fire, huh?
What was that, Skeever?
I said fire.
No, I believe you said fire, huh?
So, fire.
Yes, Skeever. For some reason I was gifted with magically pyrotechnic abilities.
Lucky you. I guess now you can cook a meal in a
Skeever.
fraction of the usual time. You do realize I didn't finish
Skeever.
talking. You know, anyone else will already consider a somewhat violent solution to your consistent interruption.
Skeever.
And also, what?
I'm very sorry about the whole jail ordeal. Your humor. I didn't like seeing you there.
Hey, Ratmouth.
Yes, I realize you don't like to be cooped up. Truly, this was for your good. I hope you can forgive me.
I guess so. Let's talk after I find my skeever tail. I mean, my sword. It'll be much easier to forgive when I get my sword back. You also seem to know more about my situation. I mean, our situation than anyone else.
That may be true for now, though I have not seen a trace of Furball, and she was always the smartest among us.
Smarts are one thing, but for this magical... whatever you want to call it, I am sure another magical force is needed to counter it.
That is a very academically accidental intuitive comment you made there, my friend.
I guess it is. In any case, we have to go get my sword. You can stay here. I have a feeling my companion and I will be able to handle Whiskers. By the way, my companion was the only one who was able to sober me up, just by standing near me. As soon as they walked into the tavern, it felt strange, but after we talked for a bit, I was completely sober. I'm not sure this is a permanent solution, but it does count for something, doesn't it?
Of course it does. This is extremely intriguing. I will have to examine the effects further the first chance I get. I don't have any immediate thought about how to approach this matter, but I'm sure it will come in time.
Then off to the Riverwood Hall of the Dead it is. See you later, Ratty.
Best of luck to you. Come back alive. And
Hey,
I hope...
Ratmouth.
Oh, Skeever. Good luck.
Well, thank you, Ratty. And you can count on us coming back alive. Let's get going, assuming you are ready. Oh, I'm carrying one of the diaries Ratmouth spoke of, if you're interested.
A little wood elf fellow and his big Nord friend. Doesn't that somehow sound familiar?